The Culling was one of the first Battle Royale games to launch, and it had a strong community of dedicated players. However, that goodwill was destroyed when developer Xavier decided to end support for the first game and start a new Battle Royale title called the Culling 2 that had so little players that you could literally win a match by doing nothing. The game was shut down, refunds were provided, and support to the original game was restored. The game did die eventually, and recently the developers tried to revive the title by implementing this new type of coin arcade system that would put even the most greediest AAA publishers to shame. The game returned on May 14th with a brand new monetization system. First, you needed to buy the game, which was $5.99, but you can't play it constantly. Instead, you were given a free token each day that is used to play a match. If you win, you get another token, which is rare in a Battle Royale game since only one player can win. But hold on, you can buy tokens or entire passes for these insane prices that cost more than the game. This pay-per-match system would get companies like Activision and EA drooling if they could implement such a system. As expected, gamers did not like this, and well, the video has a close to 95% dislike ratio compared to likes. Xavier attempted to appeal to gamers by offering something, it's just truly idiotic. You can now get 10 tokens per day, and if you win an offline match, you gain an additional online token. Seriously, I can't get my head around this. Anyone who's played a Battle Royale game knows that most of the deaths occur within the first 2 minutes, so you can easily burn through 10 tokens with no problem. This is just a terrible appeasement to a horrible system, and it seems Xavier is either oblivious to how bad the system is or just does not care. In fact, it seems like they don't care because in an article from PC Gamer, Director of Operations Josh Van Velde said, in retrospect, this was really obvious, that one was not going to give us the flow of players, but you have to remember, we were kind of terrified everyone coming back overloading the servers, costing us a ton of money and not spending anything, so we were afraid to turn that dial. Honestly, I can't tell if this is PR speak or just plain arrogance. Overloading the servers, costing us a ton of money. Players are literally the lifeblood of any game. If no one is playing the game is dead. Why in the hell would you limit the amount of players in your game? Van Velde went on to say, we onboarded 1 million new players very quickly, Van Velde recalls, which was overwhelming in some ways, and at the time, we didn't have the visibility right now into their spending habits and everything else. It took us a while to kind of realize what the monetization looked like relative to our AWS costs, but we were spending tens of thousands of dollars every month. He keeps saying millions, but when you search up the player count on Steam charts, it contradicts this statement. It's likely he's talking about the early days of the game, but that was then and this is now. The game's player count dropped from thousands to double digits to even single digits. Van Velde constantly reiterates that it was the cost of running the game that pushed this new system, since other options such as selling cosmetics and loot crates were not working. Again, this is because players were not happy and were leaving the game because other battle royales like Fortnite and Apex Legends, which are free, were offering better options, so players went to those games. So the logic here is that instead of making your game better, listening to fan feedback, and attracting new gamers, they decided that it was the monetization system that was the problem. It's truly fascinating. Hey, let's not make a good game, but you know what gamers want? Better microtransactions. But it even gets better or strange depending on the way you look at this thing. I mean, I think it's just strange. Van Velde said, we definitely weren't looking at it at the standpoint of someone who says, hey, if this game is around a year, I'm going to play it every day for a year. We don't know if those people exist. I just can't. You don't know that there are people out there who play the same game every day if it's good? I can't wrap my head around this person. It goes on to state, instead, Van Velde and the team expected players to play periodically and only make a few purchases. Maybe they'll save up a stockpile of tokens and occasionally dip into when their free matches run out, or they would buy a pass and play lots for just a month. If that was the case, players would only be spending a few bucks, but for consistent returning players, that cost would ramp up. What? Imagine having so little hope in your product that you didn't expect them to play. I just can't. You expected them not to play every day? Do you have so little faith in your product? Again, I can't tell if this is PR speak or because it's just such a bad take on this terrible system, but it just gets even worse. I guess a lot of players were telling us that they considered themselves long-term players and they were not thrilled, especially if there's someone who purchased the game previously because it was free to play, about the idea of having to spend what they feel like a significant amount of money on an ongoing basis. Players will return to a game if it's good enough or provides enticing content. However, when you lock the game out with this insidious monetization system, what do you think gamers are going to do? As he keeps shooting himself in the foot, they expect gamers to just simply pay for this product just to keep it going and keep matches full. I just cannot understand the mindset of this person. You cannot provide a constant stream of income if there are no players, and the only way you keep players happy is by listening to them and creating a compelling experience. There is a reason why games like Fortnite, Apex Legends, Call of Duty are still actively being played. It's because they have enticing systems. Heck, there are people who still play Resident Evil 2 2019 competitively in speedruns because it's a fun game. This is just lazy. Van Veld confirmed that they just wanted to create a poor product and hope people would come and play while they constantly made money. It is truly amazing. Van Veld went on to say, "We tried the model of getting huge and we couldn't afford to make it work. I think if we were backed by a big publisher and had deeper pockets when we had all those original free-to-play players, we probably could have done something with it. But we were not equipped to ride out that storm out for 6 months and grow it." Dear God, he just keeps admitting that this entire game was just a way to make money as quickly as possible without doing any real work. He thought this title would shoot up like those many free-to-play titles on the mobile market that racked up thousands of dollars. The problem is, this isn't the mobile market, and your game was terrible. There was no passion in this product, and of course players left for more appealing options. Heck, I don't even think this would work on the free-to-play mobile market anymore because games like PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is now available there, and Fortnite is there. Xavier said they're remaining loyal to this model and has no regrets for this monetization system, just they wish that they pitched it differently. If he could go back, Van Veld says that he'd pitch it differently and simplify things, believing that the model worked but that the message was garbled. It doesn't seem like a model that's particularly easy to express in any way that's appealing, however, especially when compared to more conventional free-to-play method. This is just amazing. At this point, this is not PR speak. He is that delusional that believes that this arcade quarter system that was universally hated by gamers would end differently if he worded it different. That doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. The PC Gamer article goes on to state, "If you like it or want to try it, please join us and try it out." You can't. You have to pay for the game first. It's not a free-to-play game. See if you like it enough to spend money on it, and if you do, we would love you to keep playing it, because at that point, you could make a purchase and then have the opportunity to play, say, 10 matches a day, every day, for as long as you want to. If you love it more than that, go ahead and buy a reasonable price pass, and that lets you play as much as you want. That'll be something that you can decide to re-up whenever you want, and if you stop playing, you'll never spend another cent. I think that would be simpler to understand and present. This is utterly stupid. It makes no sense whatsoever. Fallout 76 Fallout First Pass is a better value than this piece of garbage. This system could be fixed. Just remove the terrible monetization system and return to trying making a good game that players want to play. However, I feel like they've gone too far and strongly believe that this system will somehow work. They dug a hole so deep that climbing out would be near impossible. This game, it's just become a giant joke, and understandably, the only reason I can actually see this system making sense in their eyes is because they are indie developers. Yes, indie developers have a hard time already with asset flips and AAA publishers that prevent their game from rising up and becoming noticed, but this system is not how to do it. If you have to double down on such a greedy system just to stay afloat, then maybe it's time to call it quits on this game and try your luck on another title. It just doesn't make any sense that they would implement such a poor system and go on and say that it's just because the way they worded it is the reason why it failed. No, it is a bad system. It is greedy, and it's combined with a game that no one wants to play because there are free options that are way better. I can play Apex Legends, PlayerUnknown Battleground, or Fortnite and have a superior experience than ever spending a cent on the Culling. It's just utterly moronic that they would do this, and I feel even worse for the people who actually like this game because they don't deserve something like this. So what are your opinions on the matter? Let me hear your voice in the comments below. Till next time, everyone, stay awesome.